What is up, my fellow champions? I am Logan, the Totally Epic Gamer, and in this video we'll be going over the Technomancer class. Starting off with just the available skills right now through the demo, you have Shrapnel, which is pretty much a proximity grenade. Something great about this is not only can you throw it, but there's a lot of equipment that will allow you to throw more than one before the cooldown starts, and on top of that it's an interrupt. So you're pretty much able to throw this over bunkers, over small pieces of cover, and you're able to hit more than one person. The second skill that you get is the Cryo Turret. The turret is okay. It doesn't do too much. As you can see here, it's just kind of freezing the two enemies. And despite in the video the Cryo Turret killing those two enemies, the Cryo Turret does not do that much damage and will not be doing that. A lot of times you can use it as a distraction, especially if you're in solos, and you'll be able to have the enemies attack it while you do something different, like killing the more important enemies at hand. Pain Launcher is an interrupt and mass damage. It kind of just creates a line down the middle of wherever you put it, and it will destroy everybody in its path. Much like the video here, those three enemies go down very quickly, and this is a huge source of quick, explosive damage. It has a longer cooldown, but still quite strong in its right. And of course you have Blighted Rounds, which is a really good way to AoE monsters down and enemies down without having to do too much focus fire. As you can see here, the toxic spreads pretty quickly and you can just kind of let the enemy go down. Overall, right now I've kind of found the Cryo Turret to be the least effective when trying to do damage, so I've stuck with Shrapnel, Blighted Rounds, and Pain Launcher for my beginning setup. The class in and of itself is defined, much like the other classes, through its ability to leech. In Technomancer, your ability to leech comes from doing damage. You do not get a lot of leech through the damage, but you will get a little bit here and there, which is great if you want to play long range support. No need to take a lot of damage, and it's easy to heal up if you get into a tough fight. There's always a way to exit a fight, and since you have no gap closers, like no jumps, no way to close the gap, you kind of have to stay at a distance, and your general weapon will be likely AR and sniper, and being able to give support from a wide range away. So as you can see here, the Technomancer is just going through the healing mechanic, but really interestingly, your melee skill is a freeze. And so if somebody gets too close to you, you can freeze them with your melee skill, which we'll be looking at later, and you can move right away from them and kind of create distance so that you can leech off other enemies. The Technomancer provides a lot of value from a far distance and as well as like in an AoE perspective. Although it's not the highest outputting damage class, it does provide a lot of options for you to disengage and not die. I found through playing the Technomancer that I was dying a lot less when trying new things, and I was able to exit a lot of fights that I wasn't enjoying, as well as when you're fighting a boss one-on-one. You'll find that you're able to stay alive much easier because you're leeching just off doing damage instead of having to kill tiny mobs that maybe the boss brings into the fight. On top of that, you can kind of look through the skills and skill trees, and it's hard to do too much theory and speculation, but of course the top level here, Pestilence, is a lot more about the damage, and of course the damage here focusing on AR and sniper, whereas the bottom part is looking more into being able to make yourself unkillable and providing support, and the middle part is utility, focusing around your gadgets. And now we're going to go into the gameplay. So here we'll be going over the payback quest to show off the Technomancer's ability. As you can see, we're looking at a wide open map here, and of course I've played this quest a few times, so I know what's about to happen here. But we're about to be pushed from here, which is quite early, and aggressed from the side. And of course the Technomancer is a much more long-range support type character, especially in the beginning, so these close-range people will give us a lot of issues. So first off, we just throw down the turret, which will draw a little bit of fire for us, and you can see that I'm not being attacked right now, despite there being multiple red dots, and I'm able to get right here. Put down an extra AoE ability, do some extra damage, and kind of move forward from there. This is all pinning off of the fact that I got to use the turret early, which gave me a lot of cover, but as you can see, nobody died from the turret. Nobody's taking extra damage from the turret. All it really did was give me a little bit of cover, throw some people up, and gave me some options to get around. Now, from this point forward, we're in a much better place to be able to do something. We have a lot more room on the board, Everybody seems pretty preoccupied. Unlikely we're going to need our turret for the rest of this map, which is good because we can change that. We don't need to keep the turret out this whole time. And here you can kind of see the power that comes with sniping, is that I'm not being attacked right now and I'm not being aggressed, and I'm okay to kind of just take the shots here while I try and heal up. This person tries to shoot me and I get health off of them. As you can see, my health is not max. A lot of characters after a big fight like that will be max HP because they've killed so many people. But because your leech is so much shorter or so much smaller, you're unable to get a lot of HP quickly, although you can continue gaining HP through activities like this. So here we're just going to switch our skill quickly. The game will not pause, but we are going to need bladed rounds anyways. So we're going to switch to this and just start attacking. As you can see, my ammo is going down. Right as you pop bladed rounds, you will get a full clip. Very important to remember that, because in that situation right there, I'm pretty much getting 2 clips for the price of 1. And of course, since I'm not good at close range, I do not want to fight close range. If these people on the ridge, it's in my best interest to try and clear them. They're all behind cover, so what am I supposed to do? Other than, of course, use my abilities to clear cover. The procs might went a little overshot there, so not too much to do there. And of course, if anybody gets close, your melee ability is quite good. Most times you'll use it just to disengage from people, as anybody that's too close to you is not somebody you want to be messing with. But this is just for me to show you guys what the ability looks like. The freeze is quite good and obviously is going to be very helpful to many. And then this is going to go through kind of how to deal with a boss as a Technomancer.
Should be holed up somewhere in here.
As I said before, you don't have to worry about mobs, although this boss does have mobs, being there for you to be able to heal effectively. You can stay far away and try and take the least amount of damage as possible while still healing up, whereas a lot of other classes will not have that ability. We got Captain Rayner here. Put down our ability. And actually, we can just start spamming him here. He's kind of in an unfortunate spot. He's going to be healing, and of course, everybody's melee ability is going to interrupt, so we can use our melee ability. And quite quick. So although it might not seem like you have a lot of high damage potential, your ability to kind of control a fight into the way you want and not have to always get nice and close on people is very good for being able to clear out mobs quickly. And so that's it. That's pretty much the Technomancer. That's how the abilities mesh together. And obviously you can see now why I won't always take the Cryo Turret unless I need the additional tank type suppression, as bladed rounds cleared this boss very quickly. But that's the Technomancer, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.